Hey guys, welcome back to Jam Movies, and we're gonna discuss Dune again, part 2. Let's get into it.
So I remember telling you we needed to see this in theaters.
Yeah.
Which we did. I wanted to see it in IMAX. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to because our theater didn't have the IMAX for it. We did, on the other hand, get to go see it in 4DX, which I thought was pretty cool, especially with some of the the sand effects and the moving seats and just the wind blowing around in the desert. So that was cool. But before we get into the actual movie itself, let's start off with that budget.
Let's start off with what it grossed. $710 million. That's a lot of money. Only 282 million came from Canada and the States, and it was only 190 million, which is expensive, but the places that it was taken in and stuff like that was expensive, and I can just imagine the CGI, the effects, and just the whole costume and wardrobe was outstanding and expensive. Since I'm already talking about the budget, I'll keep going. They have big name actors as well in this one. There's a lot more action in it, causing the budget to be so expensive. But I think they used it perfectly. And for the picture quality you get and the outstanding sound, everything was outstanding. So that's why I think the budget was perfectly executed for the cost it was. But what do you have to say about the budget?
No, it was used perfectly. And again, too, this is like a movie I said, I personally think the sequel is better than the original. I think they just upped the ante on everything. Mm-hmm. Better action, better storyline, better effects. The music was not it's similar, but the theme was awesome.
Yeah.
The score, amazing. No complaints here. But let's get into that director. So we have the one we always have problems pronouncing his name.
Denis Villeneuve. He did obviously the first one as well. Yeah, Villeneuve, whatever. He did the new Blade Runner, Arrival, and Prisoners. I have nothing. Arrival, sorry, was a really good one. Prisoners, I haven't seen, and like you said, this one blew the first one out of the water. But what do you have to say about the director?
He makes good movies. There's no doubt about that. I mean, you just named a bunch there. Prisoners, awesome movie. Blade Runner 2049. When I set my expectations high for that one, and I wasn't disappointed. So I mean, he takes a property and he gives it his all, and we get good results.
I agree.
So the actors, I mean, I'm a fan of Zendaya. I think she's a great actress. She's versatile. Timothée Chalamet, I think his name is.
Yeah.
Timothée Chalamet. I got into another name. I'm not good with names. He did a great job. He's a very talented up and coming actor. And I couldn't see him. I couldn't see anybody else playing that role. So he did an awesome job. All around, the great cast, right? Now the big one I want to talk about actually is Austin Butler. As Austin Butler, I was not expecting to. I mean, again, another versatile actor. He's up and coming as well. But again, I was not expecting that type of creepiness, spoiled brat, mixture performance from him, and it worked well. Yeah. And again, too, there was another character that I had to go back and look up because I'm like, Austin Butler was in this. There he was. And the only other movie I seen him at the time that he was in was Elvis, which I couldn't. There's no way I could tell that was the character that played Elvis, right? You want to add anything there?
I'll talk about David Bautista. I'm not really a fan of his acting, but I do say he plays roles really well. He always has like a ton of like makeup on him and stuff for some of the movies, and he still does a good job. And I can just imagine like how tired and hot he gets in those costumes at times. And then Christopher Walken as the Emperor, he did a great job.
Yeah, Christopher Walken is always a pleasure to see on screen, and I hope we get a few more films out of him in the next few years. But David Bautista, actually, that was a good call there. I want to talk about him for a little bit. So I find he's becoming more of a seasoned actor now. So like at the start, he was just it's kind of like The Rock. Although I will say that as an actor, as more of a serious roles, Dave Bautista has done more than The Rock has, right? And he's a more believable actor, and he's genuinely trying. You can tell he's trying. He wants to like perfect his craft, and you can tell that, right? And as the movies go on, like when he was in Blade Runner 2049, his little monologue, scene, I wasn't expecting that from him, so that was great to see. But do you want to get into favorite scene here?
It was honestly the whole movie. Like it was after watching the first one and then watching the second one in theater, then watching it back to back. The second one just was amazing. Like through the beginning to the end, I have no complaints. I enjoyed it. It's a lot more easier to watch in the sense if you're not fully alert, you won't fall asleep. So the whole movie itself was my favorite part. But did you have a specific?
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna have to say when Paul Atreides first rode the sandworm.
Okay. Yeah.
The score for that, the build up towards it, and then again too, we've seen it in 4DX, so that was pretty cool because we had like the chairs moving it with the worm, and you had the wind blowing with over they kind of felt like the sand was coming at you. So that was super cool. But watching it at home in 4K and Dolby Atmos sound, oh my god, just the best, probably one of the best sounding 4Ks that I own. Just stunning visual effects were stunning in that scene. Just grade A filmmaking, we'll say. Okay, but the ending.
Oh, it was good. And it just will keep I'm ready for the third one. I have to watch the TV show as well now too. Like going from the original to the first to the third, it just keeps getting better. I don't know what to say about it. But do you have anything about the ending specifically?
Yeah, well, not specifically, but I will say again too, it left me hungry for more. And when the movie ends, I'm like, oh, okay, now we have to wait for the third one, right, to find out what happens. And every so often I'll throw the second one in, and it's almost like a satisfying but yet disappointing ending because you want to know more. You want to get into the story. You want it to finally conclude, but we're not quite there yet. And it's good you brought up the original. I always find that the original wanted to be what the remake was, right? It's just the effects they didn't have the effects at the time, and for this type of movie, I think heavily on CGI to tell the story properly. This is one of these movies because me and you both think practical effects are the way to go, right? But in something like this, you need that CGI, right? So, but let's go to the Jammeter.
This one, I would say 90. I liked it a lot. I think the next one will be a higher rating if it's better than this one, even just a bit. The effects, the locations were in Jordan, Abu Dhabi, Budapest. Everything was the scenery.
Authentic feel.
Yeah, it was just great all in all. What do you have to rate it?
You know what? I'm gonna have to go with a 90.
90.
Awesome sci-fi film. Again, I've seen better sci-fi films, right? But this one was it's definitely up there. It's definitely a well-crafted movie, and they should have won an Oscar for best sound, hands down. But
it deserved it, but they actually did get it. Do you have anything else to add?
No. I think we've said everything we needed to say about this one.
Okay, so thanks for joining in today on our second discussion on the Dune Part 2. We'll eventually get to the original, but follow us on Instagram, our YouTube channel, our Reddit. Our Reddit, we post more pictures so you could see our movies and our unboxing a little bit easier. But that's everything for today, guys. Thanks for jamming with us.